Hello! Sorry for the late start. I got caught up talking in our wonderful little Discord server. Yeah, I'm already well aware stream that chat will be a little quieter than usual today because, as a forewarning to anyone watching, we are streaming meat. We are starting with the meat route because, I honestly didn't. I just wanted to immediately consume them both, but I figured for streaming purposes, I generally picked up a fandom vibe that people were more wanting the meat first. So that's kind of what that decision-making process was. So I already know there's a couple of our regular friends who went with candy first and who don't want to be spoiled, which I 100% respect, which moves me on to the spoiler policy for today. No. Just no. I know normally I keep chat and these weekend streams open season for spoilers because it's kind of based on the community discussion of the works, but this shit is fresh as fuck. I have only read up to chapter 12 of the Meat book. I have not read anything from Candy. So by next weekend, it'll most likely be back to open season for spoilers, but right now, since things are still pretty fresh, I didn't change the stream title. It still makes it out like it's not, we're not sure if we're getting new chapters. Let me just change that. Take a second to change that right now. Okay, I have updated the title to say that we are reading meat. So, burnt popcorn. Ooh, yeah, that's not a good smell. Whew. Okay, my phone is actually functional. Let's zoom in on chat. Hello? Okay, no, we're good. Meat, indeed. Yeah, so I know, Sneakhead, you mentioned that you read through all of Meat today. I had family over for Easter weekend dinner, so I did not have as much time as I would have hoped to read. The entire thing in one day. I know, right? Like, whew. Yeah, I'm hoping to at least finish Meat by stream tomorrow. And then Candy by next weekend. I would like to have the whole thing done before stream tomorrow so we can just go open season on spoilers as soon as possible. But also that can be kind of isolating to people who are not done yet. I do totally understand being a slow reader. I'm a slow reader, which is why I suspect that even I won't be done still by tomorrow evening. Just because I need to take a step back sometimes and let my brain absorb. You feel me? But yeah, by next weekend, I'll be fully read, it'll be open season spoilers, and we'll have a good time. And I do plan on streaming both halves of the epilogue in full, however many weeks it takes. We are on temporary hiatus from Problem Sleuth at the moment. Epilogue takes priority, absolutely. And all of these epilogue streams will be going up on YouTube as well. So, that's that. That's the news on that. And without further ado, I suppose then it is time to begin. Okay. Oh, what the fuck is my phone doing? Sorry, I just went down to look at chat and I was like, wait a second, what the fuck's happening there? Okay. I need some water. I forgot to drink water. Planning on mostly drawing, but you like them talks too. Yeah, we'll see what kind of talking we can get into. I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? Oh, right. By my estimate, I'm estimating that we will finish the first 4 chapters of Meat today on stream. That's my estimate. Okay. So, oh yeah, this. Not gonna lie. Okay, so before we start, Meat, Epilogue 1. This, graphic description, kind of grossed me out. It's very detailed and kind of, ugh. Yeah, I know that's, conceptually part of Meat is, the gory details. But, wow, they really got that across here, and it's, ugh. It just, gave me the creeps reading this, honestly. I also just, generally, I don't know what it is. I just generally have a bit of an aversion to, really disgustingly messy eating. It just, is a thing that makes me very uncomfortable. So this first paragraph was ugh. Okay. That aside. Meat. Epilogue 1. Meat was definitely the right choice, you think, as grease drips down your chin. The meat is cold and undercooked, so you'll have to grab it with both hands while you rend it apart with your incisors. It bursts in chunks, filling your mouth with blood and your throat with mangled knots of gristle and long strings of muscle fiber. You take big bites, almost too big to swallow, so big that you choke on a meaty mulch and hawk some of it up into your nasal cavity. You sneeze out a gooey rope of phlegm and flesh. You stop for a moment to wipe your face, but your chin is still slippery after you swipe the mess away. Slivers of meat catch between your teeth as you masticate with bestial enthusiasm. You use your thumb to fish them out. Finish up. Some of the blood has coagulated on the surface of the plate. You grab it from Calliope and lick it clean. She watches you, calm, placid, alien. Roxy has leaned forward to scrutinize your slovenly feast, her eyes wide and intense. You stare back at them with your hands coated in unctuous organic matter and flecks of seared skin. The blood on your hands is so thin it's like oily Kool-Aid pooling in your palm. Your understanding is 20%. Yeah, that's kind of of the 2 people who I know who have read either one all the way through or both all the way through, being you and Aleph, both of you were just the events. I know the course of events, but full understanding, nowhere near. And I'm fully expecting that to be my experience as well. I'm gonna have to read this 20 fucking times to understand what's going on, and also read a shitload of meta and be a part of a lot of conversations. Lots of talking online to understand what the fuck this is all about. But still, I will still try my best to guide you all through this as best I can. Think suddenly about all the many horrible crimes committed by Lord English. God, that guy is the worst. The memory of his stupid face and his terrible art and all the abominable misfortune he caused across multiple universes and timelines makes your meal start to curdle in your stomach. The meat sits there like a big lardy mass, a black hole bursting the universe apart around it. You feel like rocks are churning in your gut and your mouth begins to water, hot and sour. The flavor of the afternoon air changes around you and it's too hot, almost suffocating. You swallow back a mouthful of pungent bile as your eyes swim and lose focus. You know what you must do. I know what I must do. Of course you know. What kind of guy would you be if you stayed here when you're the only one in existence capable of completing the grim task? A pretty shitty one who just sneezed up a chunk of raw meat in front of a girl you used to have a gigantic crush on. I have to go back and kill Lord English. You sure? I think so. It will probably be hard, but I think it's the right thing to do. Everyone is counting on me. Roxy pulls back and takes a deep breath. It's a very thin breath, and her bottom lip quivers a bit when she sucks it in. She looks disappointed, though you could be misreading her, as usual. Calliope looks... well, her face is a permanently grinning skull. You'll be damned if you know what's on her mind either. I understand. No one says anything for some time. A pleasant breeze rolls down from the hills. In the distance, the bell tower chimes twice. You notice that a group of Carpathians have stopped to stare at you with beady-eyed fascination. The front of your shirt is stained with dark, slimy patches from the meat. Christ, why did you have to eat that meat like such a slob? So, is that it? Should I, get going? If that is your decision, then yes. There is no time to lose if the choice you have made is to matter. Calliope closes up the picnic basket and stands. Roxy follows, taking Calliope's hand in hers again. Say goodbye? Okay then. Thanks for inviting me to this picnic. I guess I'll see you both when I get back? Neither of them reply. You look from one to the other, then back again. A loud belch escapes your mouth, catching you completely off guard. The gastrointestinal ambush releases an invisible cloud of chewed-up protein odor into the public park. The gross ball of muscle roils and snarls in your belly like an unruly groundhog, prodded yet reluctant to come out and see its shadow. Ugh, why are you thinking about this? Hug them, dummy! You hesitate a few awkward moments too long. When you go to hug them, they've already turned away, leaving you standing in the middle of the park with your arms half raised, cupping the air. It's so pathetic that the eavesdropping Carpathians finally scurry away, overwhelmed by their second-hand embarrassment. You didn't even know they could get embarrassed. You drop your arms and sigh. Time to get on with it. I know! Oof. John. Yeah, I'm guessing the chain of thought with Roxy and Calliope was just like, get it over with and get out of there, like, not do some long drawn out goodbye. Before you leave, you fly back home and take one last look around Salamander Village. You breathe in the clean, crisp air, listen to the pipes chime, soak up the unfiltered sunlight. You then head inside for a wipe down, since it feels like you've been making face-down snow angels on the floor of an ill-kept slaughterhouse. You head to your bathroom and wash all the meat off your face. But somehow you still don't feel that clean. An invisible layer of oil seems to cling to almost every square inch of your body, no matter how hard you scrub. You go to your bedroom desk and dig out some stationery. Write, Dear Roxy. You've never written a note so quickly or with such clarity of heart and mind. When you're done, you write 9 more. Your hands leave grease stains on the paper. You leave 10 envelopes on your bed, arranged in a tidy circle with the names of your 10 closest friends written on them. Then, with absolutely no fanfare, you leave all of them in this idyllic world you've created behind, and zap yourself back into canon. Motherfucker, we got Dave and Carcat. Y'all, I flipped my goddamn shit reading this. I saw Dave and Carcat, and I blew the fuck up, because holy shit, I'd been hoping and dreaming of seeing conversations between these two motherfuckers, and here they are. This conversation did not turn out the way that I thought it would. However, given the nature of today's stream, I will let you simply listen to what that means, rather than talking about it. Bro. In the heart of Troll Kingdom's capital city, Dave and Carcat are sitting on their couch with a 1.5 foot space between them. It's a typically picturesque day outside, but Carcat has the curtains drawn shut all the way. This is part of their compromised living situation. Dave puts up with the trollish non-Euclidean architecture and bizarre social mores, and Carcat has adjusted his diurnal schedule to, in theory, see the sun. Bro, you have got to check this out. Carcat is leaning forward, munching on chocolate-coated beetles and totally absorbed in what he's watching. The glowing from the television highlights the dark bags under his eyes. Dave reaches out and, very gently, pokes Carcat in the cheek. Carcat flinches out of his full-body slouch. Not now, Dave. Jake's ass is on TV again. You went wild, too? I know. Like, Jake's ass is on TV again. Fucking slaughtered me, though. I was just like, fucking, of course. Oh my god. Stop wobbling Jake's ass. This is important. Who the fuck are you to tell me whose ass I should stop ogling? Look, it's absolutely hypnotic. I mean, not in a sexual way per se. Of course. Dave casts a weary look towards the TV, where Jake English is shamelessly exhibiting what is definitely his best feature in front of a live studio audience. This is a regular highlight of his and Dirk's hit television show, Rumble in the Pumpkin Patch. Wow, yeah. So I noticed that when V talked about the sensitivity readings, he named women, people of color, and trans people. And of course, they did not do any sensitivity reading for ableism. So, we have wonderful things like schizophrenic being used as a descriptive trait. And also the word lame being used like a million fucking times. Like, y'all. I will hold myself back for the moment. But come the fuck on, y'all. Like, ableism is a running problem through Homestuck. And I don't just mean the way the risk get treated for us. I mean, like, metatextually from an authorial standpoint. Hussey got some ableism issues. And it's like, it comes up in the fucking book 4 commentary, you know, in things like his horrific comment about, you know, his whole commentary, how he thinks that Towers uses the bathroom, because obviously that's, oh my god, like, I'm not gonna get into it, but like, I feel like I've said enough for y'all to get the gist of my piece and my feelings on this. Okay. Yeah. I usually try to think of alternative words for these things, but my brain is like super... Nope, I got it. I got it. See? Alternative words. Even for someone who has some issues with language recall, thinking of alternatives to Abel's language is super not that hard. Okay. This is a regular highlight of his and Dirk's hit television show, Rumble in the Pumpkin Patch, a hectic cross-section of rap battle and robot wrestling that Rose once described as an exploitative, almost Dada-esque clusterfuck of circumlocutory. Whew. I love Rose so much. An exploitative, almost Dada-esque clusterfuck of circumlocutory pretension and sweaty homoerotic restriction. Jake came up with the title for the show, and Dirk absolutely loathed it. However, before Dirk could insist on an alternative, Jake had already posted an online poll pitting his idea against whatever Dirk's boring idea is. Needless to say, the second option was much less popular. Carcat gestures at the televised spectacle a bit helplessly. It's all in the way it's being programmed by the station. It took me a while to notice, because it's not like I make it a point of staying glued to this phony televised human gladiator garbage. It's soft as fuck. They barely even try to make it seem real. Dave, I consider myself a cosmopolitan individual, a man of learning, but as a native Alternian, I am actually fucking offended by this insulting display of namby-pamby pageantry. Anyway, the more I watch, I can't help but notice the camera's lecherous fixation on this boy's voluptuous posterior. Can't say I blame them, I guess. At least it shows they know exactly what's paying the fucking bills, because it sure as hell isn't the quality of the slam poetry. Okay, who gives a shit about that? Although it pleases me to hear you taking note of the economics of this broadcast, since it is apropos to the topic at hand, but more on that later. Apropos to fucking what? I don't have time to scope the latest meme, Dave. You are coming perilously close to cutting into my important leisure time as it is. Leisure time? This is all you ever do all day. Also, it's not a meme, it's much more important. Oh, excuse me, hotshot, but what could possibly be more important than the latest meme? That was a joke, FYI. Now leave. Jane is running for president. What the fuck? Appropriate reaction. Dave scoots a 1.5 feet closer so that they can both read the news on his phone. Karkat tips his head to the side to get a better view until it bumps against Dave's shoulder. I'm just gonna have a little water. Exactly your reaction too. I know. And like this whole next segment, it was just blow after blow. And I was like, whoa, we're getting this real. This is what's happening here. Holy fuck. Got the announcement right here. You mean President of Earth? Yeah. Why the fuck would she want to do that? I don't know. Crocker's just an ambitious woman, I guess. This sounds fucking awful. Oh, it is. It absolutely is. Also, like, don't tell her I said this, but I think she's basically a fascist. Blow number 1. Holy fuck. Just, keeping it spoiler free, y'all. I'm trying to avoid making comments about things that I have read already that I don't. Because I don't know. How many viewers do we even have right now? 3. Okay, we have 3 and only 1 person in chat. I don't know what the situations are of the other 2 people who are currently hanging out. Hi there, how you doing? So I want to keep to the previous spoiler policy. Just to, stick to my own guns. But God, is it tempting to talk about things from later on in this very chapter. Why would I tell her you said that? When the fuck was the last time either of us had fuck all to do with Jane? No, I know. Just like a figure of speech, I guess. Also she's a fucking xenophobe. Of course she's a xenophobe. Whew. I mean, I'm excited to be exploring the politics of Earthsea. Even though I will admit some of the finer details of this later in this conversation fly a little over my head. I will mention when that is happening, so don't make assumptions, but like, honestly, it was kind of fun. Yeah, like, I'm excited to like really sink my teeth into it. I'm only on chapter 12, and I don't know how many chapters there are because I don't want to look at the log, because I just want to fly through this thing and see it end when it ends. But yeah, excited to get really deep into that, even though again some of the stuff is flying a little over me, but I digress. Karkat, without drastically altering his position on the couch, turns his head so that he can look Dave straight in the sunglasses. Dave, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of humans are? Yeah, I've noticed. Also, what the fuck does she even mean she's running? What a complete load of shit. She's a god. Which one of the toadying idiots on this planet would dare to run against her? She's going to win in a landslide, assuming she doesn't just waltz into office uncontested. Yeah, I don't disagree. Which is why we have to stop her. Huh? Dave, what exactly are you saying? Are you telling me you're going to run against Jane? Carcat's laughter is uproarious, incredulous. He reaches for another beetle as his guffaws subside and eats it in a manner he hopes will convey his casual contempt for Dave's insinuation. Are you out of your fucking mind? Do you have any idea how rich she is? Dude, we're all rich. We, invented the fucking economy. Well, yeah, but not Crocker rich. Anyway, no, I'm not running. You are. There it is. You'd vote for Dave? Me the fuck too. He sounds like he had such shit. Yeah. Especially, this whole conversation, the way he's talking. He sounds like he would be on top of it. Carcat stops chewing his beetle and does a literal spit take right into Dave's face. Can you imagine what the panel would look like for that? Oh my god. Me? Yeah, man. It's perfect. You're the ideal opponent to take her down, and TBH, just what this planet needs. No, I'm not! Yeah. We established this how many years ago? I'm not a leader. I was never meant to be one. Jane probably is, although to be fair, I'm agreeing with you. She's a complete asshole. I'm just not the one to run an effective opposition campaign. I wouldn't even know where to start. Obviously, you wouldn't do it on your own. I would help. I'd be like your campaign manager or a chief strategy guy or whatever. Also, you're wrong. You were meant to be a leader, and you'd be a good one. Just not the kind of leader you always thought you'd be. Not a bellicose, conquering dickhead who commands fear and respect. Just a guy who is cool and nice and actually cares about stuff, and everyone loves him for that reason. Okay, so once again, we're getting the mirroring of the sufferer here, which I'm doing the hand thing. New Homestuck fandom event drop panels. Honestly, I can't wait until I'm done all of this so I can see all the fan art. People don't love me. You're breaking my heart, dude. Me or B gonna hit up the toilet for a quick power sob. Oh my god. I love Dave so much. That line was also a fucking sucker punch to the gut. Not because it hurt my heart, but because it was fucking hilarious and so quintessentially Dave, in the same way that, John, please don't be a bitch. I'm unwell, remember, is so quintessentially Rose. It just it's just, I miss them so much, and I'm just, yeah, don't. Stay the fuck away from any and all forms of unregulated social media until you are finished. I specify unregulated because, for example, the Discord server for my Twitch channel is a designated spoiler-free zone until everyone in that server has finished, and that has been officially declared. But y'all, don't do it. I know it's tempting, but don't do it. Ugh, shut the fuck up. It still amazes me how little awareness you genuinely seem to have of how wildly popular you are on this planet. It's fucking adorable. You're wrong. All I see is Jake on TV, and Jane in the news stories about her stupid business, and Dirk doing whatever fucked up shit he's doing with his celebrity presence. I see your mug a lot too, Mr. fucking political puppet master. You'd get more votes than me, and you know it. You're probably just a coward. You only see famous humans on TV because you just avoid all Troll Kingdom channels deliberately. You hate it whenever you see yourself on TV. Don't pretend I don't notice you change the channel as fast as possible whenever you see yourself. Yeah, well, maybe I... Oh, I know, if only he knew how popular he was in this world. Karkat hesitates, then slouches back into the couch cushions, restoring the customary 1.5 feet of space he and Dave usually keep between them, except when... I need water. Yeah, my throat. I did a lot of talking today with my family. Karkat hesitates, then slouches back into the couch cushions, restoring the customary 1.5 feet of space he and Dave usually keep between them, except when watching horror movies, eating chips, or talking about the top 600 stupid things Karkat saw earlier that day because he made his intrepid annual decision to go outside. Maybe I don't actually like being famous, and maybe that's as good a fucking reason as any not to run for the fucking presidency of Earth. Not to mention, the idea of an election is kind of a fucked up and weird thing to me culturally anyway, and I'm still kind of getting used to the idea that people can just choose their fucking leaders and not have the same old merciless bitch in power for several million years. Well, what better way to acquaint yourself with democracy than to take a crack at high office yourself? Dude, seriously, you would absolutely kill it with the troll voting bloc. The entire kingdom would vote for you. They'd go ballistic if they heard a troll actually had the guts to run against Jane, let alone one of their heroes. And frankly, just between you and me, Jane is... How do I put this? What? Okay, I'll just be the one to come out and say it. She's going to be a fucking disaster for the economy. And it's the economy stuff that kinda flies over my head. I guess I have to admit, part of this, for me personally, it's... What are you saying, Dave? It's about Obama. Oh my god. So that's where the Obama tag come from. Also, the moment they were like, the moment I read, Jane's running for president, and you should run against her, my brain was immediately just like, gerrymandering? Oh my god. And super PACs, I still need to Google what the fuck a super PAC is, because I am not a resident of the United States. Shipping Dave and economics. His cup for pickle juice. Y'all, he'd have words for you. I have no clue. Yeah, what the fuck is an austerity measure? I need to Google that. I might ask my dad, but I might also end up getting more than I bargained for if I ask my dad what an austerity measure is. Very slowly, Karkat raises his right palm and forcefully unites it with his own face. Which, side note, is exactly what I did upon reading that line too. He barely even got a chance to prove himself. He was sworn into office and it was cool and everything was going to be great, but then everyone died a few months later because of some meteors. Dude was just getting warmed up. So sad. You're gonna disappoint, Karkat. Go for it. I wonder if he would have fixed the economy. I bet he would have fixed the economy. I'm not an expert here, on that subject. I know he did some cool things, like nationwide legalization of same-gender marriage, A fucking plus, but also drone strikes in Syria. Big thumbs down, to say the least. Yeah, so this whole conversation with the knowledge of how the Obama presidency actually went is kind of like, it's interesting. Dave, as much as I enjoy listening to you ramble through yet another chapter of your freestyle Obama fanfiction, don't you already have a basis for knowing how his presidency would have gone? I mean, wasn't he president in the timeline Jane grew up in too? Oh, yeah. I mean, of course I know that. I just don't like to think much about that timeline. It doesn't really feel like it's canon. Okay, so that comment has me, super side-eyeing, because it's like, are they now saying that the Alpha Kids timeline is not canon at all? Because Like, wasn't that pretty fucking integral to the rise of Lord English? In some way? Am I getting my facts confused? I don't know. I'm just kind of like, where's that comment coming from? Because there's definitely... Yeah. Hello, welcome back. We're talking about Dave's comment about the canonicity of the Alpha timeline. Still a pickle left in the jar. Yeah. Didn't some clowns take over the world or something? I don't want to talk about it. The point is, in the world that mattered more, I mean, like, the one that I belonged to that I used to imagine had a real future, that didn't involve meteors or a fish dictator or the American political landscape turning into a nightmarish daily joke, I still wonder what could have been, if the old man could have saved us all. But instead he died, probably. Or maybe not. Maybe there was like an escape hatch in the White House that led to his own secret presidential session of Spurb. What if he's just chilling there now? So, you know, of course the hilarious part of this is that if, you know, timeline Dave is speaking of, one that we're living in right now, turns out, after the Obama presidency, the American political landscape still has turned into a nightmarish daily joke. Dave, I think we've covered your Obama secret session of Spurb theory well enough already. I love the implication that this is just like a thing that he talks about all the time. I know. I'm just saying is all. It's a beautiful dream, I fucking get it. But yeah, it's more likely he just died. But maybe it doesn't have to be in vain. What if he died for our sins or something? So now we're getting into Jesus analogies. Sounds fucking meaningless. Yeah, but I mean, what if, like, he could be reborn? Yes, we've been over your Obama god tier headcanons too. No, like, reborn as you, metaphorically. You could be the great president he never got the chance to be. You could give people hope and shit. You could inspire trolls everywhere, or really all non-human kingdoms. Show them anybody could be a president, not just an endless parade of rich humans who think they all know what's best for everybody. Dave, I'm pretty sure anyone could be president. It's just always seemed to me that humans just seem to be more naturally ambitious, and that's why the power structures took the shape they did the last few millennia. I mean, I don't claim to be an expert on xenophysiology, on xenopsychology, but for some reason I struggle to imagine a fucking salamander getting the gumption to throw his crumpled hat in the ring for the presidency of Earth. Or the Carpathians, for that matter. These are not ambitious creatures we're talking about here, Dave. They're a huge flock of wool beasts, Dave. Karkat, don't stereotype. Remember the mayor? Remember how at one point a long time ago he raised an army and rebelled against an evil king? Oh yeah. Sometimes I always forget he did that. Kind of mind-boggling, really. Holy shit, I miss the mayor. Me too. The implication that the mayor is fucking dead, I don't like it, but also it makes sense because they left the Parsimicious and the mayor behind when they jumped forward. So, ouch my heart, but also it makes sense. Here's the deal, though. Here's the deal. Okay. If they used this conversation to allow them to put fucking Barack Obama in the character list, when, technically speaking, Barack Obama should be in the content list because he's not a character in this story. Granted, I haven't finished reading it, but please, for the love of fuck, don't make Obama an actual character. Then the mayor should be on that list too, because a lot of people freak the fuck out. Obama's not fucking alive. If Obama ends up being fucking alive, I'm gonna flip my shit. Dave and Karkat both observe a moment of silence. A delicate and trembling pause of the utmost respect to perhaps the greatest and purest being who had ever come forth from Paradox Space. Dave pats Karkat's knee comfortingly, and Karkat lets out a quivering breath of sorrow, of remembrance. Into this reverent silence, Dave says, I think he would be totally in favor of my idea, BTW. He loved democracy. I'm a little terrified of the answer, so I'm gonna say no. Also, I feel like that gets into pseudo-spoilery territory. Even though, technically speaking, that information probably would have been in the tags if they were formatted a little differently. Okay, just because that information actually sounds like something that would be in the content tags, I am going to say yes, actually. You may say whether or not Obama is a literal real-ass character in this. Because that information is technically something that would have been found in the tags. They just haven't really clarified. He is not, in fact, real. Okay. That's kind of what I figured, because how the fuck would they have pulled that off? But maybe he's in Candy. Don't even fucking start. Nah, I doubt that he's in Candy either. I think that, yeah. They should have put that in the content tags, not the character tag, because he's not a talking character. They should have put the mayor. If they didn't include the mayor, even though he's mentioned, then they shouldn't have included Obama. I understand the shock factor, okay? I get it. But also, y'all, come on. Okay, anyway, I'm getting super distracted off topic here. Wow, it's already 11:45. Okay. No shit, he was a fucking mayor. I mean, forget about all the lizards and chess guys for a second. Just imagine the good you could do for the troll kingdom. You would do a much better job of speaking to the injustices trolls face than Jane would. What injustices? Dude, please. Where do I even begin? I know Earthsea has generally been a pretty chill place to live, but there's been some shit going on that is legit creepy. All this population regulation bullshit that's been going on since we basically set up civilization and pieced out to the future. When you think about it, its long-term consequences it's been fucking weird. Like the government being responsible for troll reproduction through cloning. A government that just happens to be predominantly human most of the time. Like, it makes sense on paper at first. No mother grub, gotta keep the race going and expand the population for a good while to get the numbers up. Until Kanaya gets here and hatches the grub, and then I guess a system of natural reproduction can take over in theory, but after so many centuries of that shit, doesn't the weird political imbalance, like, get entrenched? There's a measure of real concern and passion working its way into Dave's voice. Karkat, despite his typical front of loud indignation, hangs on every word. You had a terrible thought? Is it something... Yes, there was an economics tag. How much of the... I mean... I don't know. Trolls don't really have that concept, even, like, genetically speaking. So, I don't think that's really an issue. Right. And once Rose and Kanaya crank out a few more broods in the caverns, I guess we're supposed to think it's all fixed, right? Back to trolls as usual or something. But do you really think the human kingdom is gonna just sit back and let the troll race proliferate wildly all over Earth? Turn it into another Alternian empire? Folks know the history. They know about the Condus and all the violence in the hemispectrum and shit. They're scared to death of the possibility that trolls could run wild all over this planet. Dave, I know this. In fact, you know all of this because you've heard me say it to Kanaya 1,000 times. Actually, in an effort to not go... It punched you in the brain, you. Okay, that's fair. Actually, in an effort to not lose my head, I try not to think about it. I try not to think about it anymore. I don't know if lose my head is any less ableist, because they're all kind of along the same line of metaphor. Well, maybe it's time to start thinking about it again. Bro, did you know? Sitting on the sidelines in the face of oppression is tantamount to siding with the oppressors. Ugh. That line from Dave. Just like... I just have like a slow clap for that. Just those words coming from Dave's mouth. Fucking bless. I have another comment with regards to this whole diatribe from Dave, but I'll save it for a particular moment in a later conversation. Later in this conversation, I mean. I have some water before I keep going. Well, the good thing it's 10 minutes to break because my water bottle's empty now. You think a Crocker administration is really going to go through with plans to deregulate troll breeding? She knows exactly what her base wants. I can already see the dog whistles in the press release. She isn't gonna do shit. And really, man, if nothing else, and I truly mean nothing, please, for the love of Christ, think about the economy. Ugh! Wasn't there a real guy named Dave Strider? Yeah, there was a real guy whose literal, actual legal name was Dave Strider who was running for Senate. That is absolutely a thing that happened. And of course, enough people brought it up that he embraced fictional Dave Strider. The outburst is all Karkat can do to release whatever tension Dave's impassioned appeal was causing to brew inside of him. Motherfucker literally just told him to think about the economy. Jane has this reputation for being awesome at business, but IMO, she actually just sucks. She doesn't seem to be even remotely aware of how she's leveraged her status as a god to become a big shot trillionaire. I think she thinks it's all pure business acumen, but I think she doesn't really know what she's doing. Fuckers left and right just be tripping all day long to give her money hand over fist. And of course she's gonna milk her biz cred for all it's worth in this election. She's probably a much better politician than a businesswoman, actually. She's probably a much better politician than a businesswoman. Actually, she's, like, sinister as fuck. I mean, she hides it well, don't get me wrong. Also, she isn't too hard on the eyes, which won't hurt her chances one bit. God damn it, Dave. But she's going to be brutal on their pocketbooks, just you wait. I don't fucking believe this. She doesn't know the nuances of sound comprehensive fiscal policy like I do. My skills are fucking legendary. I manipulated the stock market to assume control of the literal majority of all currency on the planet once. Granted, the economy was run by lobotomized reptiles, but still. Wait, that was species of sorry. The point still stands, though. I know what I'm doing. What do you think is going to happen when Jane takes over and the economy crashes? I don't know. It's going to be pandemonium. Will it actually be, though? well, I don't know. Okay, if shit goes sideways, I guess we aren't gonna see, like, raggedy turtles and pauper chessmen standing in bread lines or anything. That's just the nature of alchemy-based post-scarcity economies. The depressions tend to be pretty mild. But it will still be bad. A healthy economy is fucking important. If for no other reason than it protects the societal context for what it means to be fucking rich, like us. I feel like there's so much more to say about this sentence, like this set of sentences, but I don't know jack shit fuck all about economic theory, so I feel like I have some reading to do. Just a thought. Let's come up with a different campaign slogan than that, okay? Yeah, but the point is, just, I guess, she sucks and shouldn't be president, the end. You don't even have to think about economic shit. I can do that. I can do that for you. I'll be like the Treasury Secretary or something. Just please tell me you'll do this. Do it for the trolls. Do it for the economy. Do it for the mayor. But most of all, Dave wipes an invisible tear from beneath the rim of his sunglasses. Do it for Obama. God damn it, Dave. I don't really give a fuck about politics or being a leader anymore, and I think you know that. I don't care about the economy, and while I'm sure this Obama fellow was a hell of a guy, I couldn't give less of a fuck about him either. But I do care about you. Oh, my heart. Dave smiles. So, I'll do it. Why not? Nice! Oh, yeah. You won't regret this. You won't regret it. This is gonna be dope. I think we have a great shot, too. With my political savvy and economic genius and outrageous flair for subversive anti-establishment messaging and propaganda, y'all. Alpha Dave. Okay? 2 words. Alpha Dave. It's... Like, this is... He is assuming this a very similar role to Alpha Dave. And it made me realize, it made me think about, so Karkat in this role, of course, we see Karkat, the great political leader, fulfilling his, potential, and probably the whole reason that Echidna, there was that thing where Echidna was like, you need to be there so you can lead the people. Ayo, that moment's coming. And Rose, with all of her sudden knowledge of past and future events, this sudden flood of knowledge from her light powers. I think potentially there could be something fucky happening with that, even in the Alpha Kids timeline. So then that's making Alpha and Beta Roses converge kind of on similar pathways too. So I'm really interested in seeing where exactly that takes us through the rest of the epilogue and how that mirroring works, if it continues to kind of follow that pathway. Yeah, so with my savvy economic establishing messages and propaganda, and your big loud fucking mouth. What the fuck? I guess also your charisma and likability and shit. Yeah, you might be right. I'm pretty sure I can fake those things well enough. Oh, also, your weirdly sincere humility. I prefer the term self-loathing, actually. Okay, let's try to avoid that phrase on the campaign trail, too. This already sounds like a pain in the ass. There's a gap of silence in the conversation, long enough for the audio from the television to become noticeable. Jake is rambling out a truly dire piece of slam poetry that involves, with zero hint of irony, the terms Batty Fang and Mad as Hops. The neon light blaring out from the screen casts long waves of color along the black walls of the hive and bounces off the glass of the framed print of Dave's least psychologically revealing Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff strip. Karkat sighs and rubs the space between his horns. Can't I just read a bunch of bullshit you write for me off a teleprompter? Yeah, there will definitely be plenty of that. Dave grabs his tablet off the shelf. He pivots back around and points the pen straight at Karkat. The arc of his motion is polished and decisive, even though it's been a long time since he's properly used a sword. But you also need to be natural and speak from the heart and shit. Just, talk to your people about stuff they care about. My people? You mean trolls? Oh, yeah, I guess that sounded bad, sorry. But yeah, exactly. Trolls. That's gonna be your base, so you gotta rile them up. Inspire them. I don't think you need any fancy speeches to do that. You'll be a natural. If you say so. So, what do we actually do? I mean, next. Dave plops down on the floor and gestures for Karkat to join him on the cold stone. He swipes the tablet on and taps the screen with the pen. Karkat lies down on his stomach and props his chin on his palms so he can watch Dave scribble political ambitions directly into the shittiest paint program on his OS. How very Dave. Time to talk some strategy. We need to rally as much high-profile support to our cause as we can, but there are some, lines of loyalty to figure out. What? I mean, which of our friends are going to side with us, and which ones will side with Jane? Pretty much all of us are famous and popular all over Earth to some degree. Some of us more so with certain kingdoms than others, so some key endorsements going either way could swing the whole election. Oh, great. So it all comes down to how many famous humans like me better than Jane? We're fucked. Well, not so fast. Let's think it through. You'll have the overwhelming support in the Troll Kingdom, and so does Kanaya. She's pretty much a lock to be on your side. Dirk, unfortunately, is just as much a lock for Jane, I'm gonna guess. But after that, it's kind of a free-for-all. Roxy and Calliope will probably be neutral. They have a lot of pull with the wow, it sure is almost break time. They have a lot of pull with the Carpathians, though, so that would be nice to score. That would be a nice score to sway them. Rose will probably claim neutrality at first, but I'm betting she can be cajoled by her wife to our side. Her wife? And once we get Rose converting Roxy, probably won't be too hard. As for Jade... They stare at each other. Karkat sighs, and Dave raps his pen against the tablet screen in a slow, uneven staccato. I think it's fair to say she's going to be on our side. Yeah. Maybe a little too much so. Yeah. I wasn't going to be the one to say it, but yeah, I get what you mean. So that made me heavy side-eye when I first read it. I was like, what are they talking about? When are they finally going to get into what's going on there? And then they do later on. And so I can't talk about it yet because, again, no spoilers. But, yeah. So there's not much I can say about this now because of the no spoiler policy. However, yeah, there's certainly things to talk about. Of course, we want her help we want her help, and her endorsement will go a long way, but I think we gotta sort out, a hierarchical approach to campaign strategy. Keep it organized and disciplined with roles well defined. Not let things get too murky with, personal shit. I think we're on the same page here, Dave. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's come back to the Jade issue later. Let's see, who else? When they said, let's come back to the Jade issue later, I literally screamed at my computer, no! Talk about it now! I want to know! Egbert? Right. John should be easy to convince, but I'm not sure how much of a factor he'll be in this campaign. I have no idea how long he'll be away on this mission Rose mentioned. What? What mission? Dunno, but she's been hella cagey about it. Swore me to secrecy until the right time, whenever that is. Anyway, his endorsement would go a long way in swinging the Consort Kingdom. That would be huge. Aren't there, 100 billion of those fuckers? Securing that voting block should be able to win the whole thing for us. Well, no, the population isn't that big, but yes, it's by far the most populous kingdom. Swinging them our way should help a lot, but it won't be enough to decide the whole thing. Consorts overwhelm the other kingdoms in sheer numbers, but due to unscrupulous gerrymandering, all kinds of fucked up voter suppression policies, and some electoral counterbalancing measures to account for their ridiculous population growth rate, their voting power per capita is kind of pathetic. Also, it's hard to drive turnout. This may come as a shock, but legions of easily distracted, low-information amphibians primarily concerned with eating bugs and farming goddamn mushrooms aren't the most politically motivated demographic. So to get them out to the polls, we'll need to get them really excited. And there it is. Gerrymandering. And that's the tag. Okay, I guess I'll have to trust your expertise on that, since I don't know the first fucking thing about how to inspire an unintelligent lizard. Yeah, well, I don't either, but that brings us to Jake. Jake's butt flexes on the television as if in response. Karkat can't avoid watching it from the corner of his eye. Oh, fuck. No, this is important. Jake is a huge wild card here. I'm sure his endorsement would be completely up for grabs. He could go anyway, including just getting turned off by the whole thing and staying apolitical. So we have to be careful about how we approach him. Jake is the only one of us who's wildly popular in all 4 kingdoms. Well, I can't argue with that. Yeah, so an endorsement from him would be huge. Seriously, running one ad of him doing his double pistol winking bullshit with a thing under it Seriously, just running one ad of him doing his double pistol winking bullshit with a thing under it saying vote Karkat might be enough to win the whole election. Just have to get that fickle bastard to agree to that, which could be tricky. And honestly, I'd be shocked if Jane hasn't already started courting his vote. So there's no way she doesn't understand the political stakes. So it all comes down to the Jake stakes then. Pretty much. The Jake Stakes 2.0. What? There was a 1.0? When did that happen? Alpha Kids session, baby. Oh, that's like a whole story. Is this going to be another anecdote about the Jake squad I won't care about and don't want to fucking hear? That sounds like the exact kind of opinion you'd have about it, so yeah. Then I don't want to fucking hear about it. Okay. Shit, hold up. Dave fishes his phone out from his lap. Dirk's calling me. What the fuck does he want? Oh my god, I got so fucking excited when I saw Dirk's name. Every time I see the name of another character that hasn't been mentioned yet, I flip my shit. And also, anytime I see the text color of a character who has not spoken yet, I also flip my shit, because holy fuck, I am so excited about all of these children. They're not children anymore. They're my age now. So I guess I should adjust my language. But yeah, still excited. What the fuck does he want? Okay, he just calls me out of the blue from time to time to talk shit. Usually about nothing whatsoever. He'll probably joke about how he needs me to cut off his head. Huh? It's a running gag. It's a running gag he's been running into the ground for years. Motherfucker is dedicated to his memes, I'll give him that. You said he's going to be a Crocker loyalist, right? Oh, absolutely, no doubt about it. You don't think he's gonna try to do some reconnaissance work here? Like intel gathering? He doesn't even know you're entering the race yet. No one does. Okay, good. I guess you'd better answer then. Okay, well, I missed the call while we were bullshitting about it, but yeah, I'll just call him back now. Dave hits the callback button. On the television, Dirk's phone begins ringing. Sup? Hey, dude. Dave hears the reply through his phone and then a moment later through the TV, due to the broadcasting delay. The whole show is stopped so that Dirk can take this call. The camera zooms in on where he's casually lying on the mat, bruised and a little bloody. In the background, Jake strikes an attractive cocked hip pose. He's spinning a revolver around on one finger, affecting an aura of attractive indifference. But the look he's shooting his sparring partner is caught halfway between confused and exasperated. Oh, Jake. Carcat looks from Dave to the TV and back again. Got your sword handy? Always. Good. See, I'm in sort of a bind here, and I'm afraid there's only one way out. Okay, I'm fucking leaving. I love this. All of the little Homestuck things, like the formatting has changed. They're a little older. It's a little bit of a more mature subject matter and writing style. But, you know, lines like, John, please don't be a bitch, or like Dave saying he's gonna go have a quick power sob in the toilet, or this little reference to a fandom in-joke that never appeared in the fucking comic. It's so perfect. Okay. Chapter 3 is a much shorter one. However, break was supposed to be like 7 minutes ago, and I really need to rest my voice. So, time to take 5, and then we'll come back and see how much we can finish before 1. Hello, we are back. I've refilled my water bottle. I also started sucking on a caramel candy for my throat, so hopefully that should help a little as well. Welcome, Fox McCloud. Once again, I apologize for completely ignoring everything that was going on in chat for a good while there, because my phone, which I was using to see chat, fucking froze. Because my phone is a piece of garbage. I'm pretty sure it feels pretty warm. It probably overheated. Yeah. Anyways, to respond, Jake's ass is the most powerful thing known to life. It would be fucking mind-blowing to see all of this shown with Unreal 7 Engine's jiggle physics. And yes, power sob on the toilet is an absolutely astoundingly fantastic turn of phrase. It's all good, Sneak Hat. We are getting back to it now, though. We're getting back in the zone. Chapter 3. John. Zap. You zap back into canon. It's been so long you'd forgotten what it feels like. The atmosphere smacks unmistakably of... how can you describe it? Relevance? Legitimacy? Funny how you never would have thought to put it that way until you left. It takes you a moment to recognize where you are, even though Rose's instructions were very specific. A place bright and gaudy, wow. 5-minute break and I've already lost my reading voice. Okay, let's try that again. A place bright and gaudy and filled with the stench of teenage ennui. It's your old living room on the gold battleship where you spent 3 years caught up in a lot of weird, furry romantic drama while learning to unlove everything you once held sacred. 3 long, boring years. Years that, technically speaking, never happened now that you think of it. You have the very retcon powers that just brought you back here to thank for that. You barely have time to take in the sick, nostalgic feeling that all the globes and tangle buddies and avant-garde mime art evokes. The fridge pops open and out roll Arania and Gamzee. Gamzee honks and his codpiece jiggles ominously. Arania staggers to her feet, looking rather pleased with herself. Until she notices you and gapes in bewilderment. What are you doing here? I kind of wanted to find the exact panel where this happens to, like, show during stream, but I was too busy reading, and I didn't have the time. That's kind of an extraneous thing that I can, make sure to find when we do the second stream of the epilogue, which will be after the next Homestuck reread stream, which is going to be, I am fairly certain at this point with the amount of time reading the epilogue's going to take, and then the amount of time to finish Problem Sleuth will be about the time that it will have been 1 year since I finished reading Homestuck. And then it'll be about time to start another reread stream. So that's coming up soon. Get pumped. I mean, like, in a few months probably. But I digress. I'm very excited for the first time that I'll get to read Homestuck all the way through and then immediately jump into the epilogue. I'm so fucking excited for being able to do that. You can't believe we called this. Yeah, I think someone guessed Urania on stream last weekend, right? But yeah, it is fucking Urania. Urania is the person who John had to punch. Rose was perfectly clear about what to do next. You make a fist and sort of flinch and look away when you do it. No matter how many years you've spent living on a planet with absolute gender parity, this feels wrong. Still, you hit Urania pretty fucking hard, underestimating your strength just as badly as you did the last time you clobbered a hapless circuit. She goes flying back, hits the couch, and KOs instantly into a pile of smuppets. You then take her wrist in your hand, slide the ring off her finger, and pocket it. Isn't there something you're forgetting? Gamgee stares up at you with his horrible, limpid eyes. There's something serene, sinister, and sensual all at once about about the look he's laying on you. It sends a shiver up the whole length of your spine. Fuck no. Do everyone a favor and put an end to his preposterous narrative relevance. You wisely decide that this clown will lend nothing valuable to the narrative whatsoever if he is allowed to remain outside of your childhood refrigerator. You put both hands on his chest and shove him into the fridge where he belongs. He goes easily, issuing only a pair of weak honks in protest. You slam the fridge shut and resolve to never think about Gamgee Makara again. Zap to the next plot point. And we're back on Earthsea. And I'm going to have some water, because water is important. Stay hydrated. Okay. 4. No, this is not back on Earthsea. We're still with John. Sorry. Pardon me. You arrive in the land of heat and clockwork in a flash of white. A column of brutally hot air blasts up from the lava below and instantly hits your entire body. Luckily, you're fairly immortal, so the only damage it does is fog up your glasses a bit. Through the condensation, you can make out the shapes of Dave and Jade below, as well as 2 more of you hovering in the air above. Both Johns turn to look at you. Right, I forgot to actually state in the last chapter. I mean, it's fairly obvious when John is jumping to, but that is immediately after Urania got her hands on the Ring of Life. And popped out in John's living room. And this, of course, is during the retcon loop where John had to stop himself from interrupting Dave and Jade's conversation. But, of course, this time it's going a little differently. Again, when I have to come back around to this, I will find the actual fucking pages. Okay. On the ground, Dave is talking in a particular cadence, one that is familiar to you, his longtime best buddy. Casual, wandering, verging on droning. It's a good indication he'll be monologuing for a while, and probably already has been. Wait. If I search like this. God. What? There we go. This is the page. So this is this is the panel that is being interrupted. Page 6403. to set the scene. Oh, oh dear. Oh, hopefully neither of you, catch a cold. But, yes, here's the scene we're setting. I'm serious. The thing is, being a time guy, like actually mastering time travel, I'm pretty sure what that involves is learning to never use it. See, it's like karate. Well, it's more like what they say about karate. That you learn it so you don't use it. But I mean, we all know the truth about karate is if you know karate, then obviously in reality you use it all the time. Like doing lethal fucking crane kicks and sweet karate chops while walking down the street just because you can. It's a goddamn no-brainer. That's what you do with karate. John, what the fuck are you doing here? Or, wait, actually 3 Johns. Hey, 3 Johns, what the fuck are 3 Johns doing here? It's a fair question, which logically should have been directed to the oldest and most knowledgeable John. Nevertheless, one of the younger Johns replies first. I don't know. John, don't worry about it. I'll take things from here. John, don't get me wrong, it's cool that you all randomly dropped by again, but this wasn't really the best time. We were kind of in the middle of a thing here. Whoops, sorry. Actually, I only came here to swoop in and zap this John away without being seen, to recon away the mess I made earlier. I didn't expect to see another John here. Hey, other John, I said I'll handle it. I'm the only one who actually knows what's going on here. God damn it, Johns, what the fuck did you do? Young Dave, please. Let me deal with the Johns first, then I'll explain. Young Dave? Oh, yeah, why are you a fucking adult now? Did you grow up and start time traveling, dude? Will someone tell me what the fuck is happening? Jade, my love. I love Jade a lot. And that's all there is to say on the matter. If she gets sick, everyone will. Oh dear. Well, fingers crossed then. John, there's no reason for you to hang around anymore. Not to sound like a wet blanket, but the things you're trying to accomplish are now useless, so you can just zap away and do whatever you want. Useless? Wait. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I'm sure you can still go and do what I did when I originally did what you're currently trying to do. Jesus, John. In fact, I love Dave's little interjection, like, oh, God fucking damn it, what's going on here? In fact, it will still probably be a very rewarding experience. Some of my best memories happened right after you do what you're about to do next. The point is, you should just go and do it, so that you aren't here anymore. I'm here to make sure some new and different important things happen, and those things don't include you. Oh. Okay. The useless Johns zap away. You sincerely hope that they have a beautiful and fulfilling youth. Probably going to be questioning the point of their own existence now. Great job, John. Jade is fucking great, and I love her a lot. And yeah, that's just all there is to say on the matter. Although I suppose, no, there's more to say on the matter because she does things later on in this. But I don't know all of the things that she does yet. I only know a few of them. So we'll see where this goes. So I'm just going to get more comfortable here. Okay. Adult John, what the fuck have you done? Is this some time travel shit? Please don't tell me you've been spending the next you've been spending, yeah, that is what it says. Please don't tell me you've been spending the next however many years bungling through time like this, because TBH, if what I just witnessed was even remotely indicative of the shit you get up to on a recurring basis, then your future is almost too embarrassing to even think about. And this is coming from a teenager who was just in the middle of an angsty episode. It's true. No, Teen Dave. This is not at all representative of my habits as an adult, but thanks for the concern. I'm not time traveling, and neither were the other Johns. I'm using my retcon abilities to travel here from the future, in a manner of speaking. Sounds fucking stupid. It is stupid, but that's just how things are. Sometimes it'd be like that. Yeah. I'm a little confused. I'm supposed to be hunting you down and capturing you, but I'm not sure if the adult version of you counts. I think the Condis might just be confused if I brought her an adult John. There will be a lot of questions that need answering, that's for sure. No, you don't need to capture me, and you wouldn't be able to even if you wanted to, since my existence literally transcends the confines of canon. Well, I guess that simplifies things then? Yep, pretty much. In that case, would you mind giving me and Dave a few minutes to wrap up our conversation? We were sort of in the middle of something important, I think. No, you really weren't. Sorry to... Damn, harsh, John. Holy fuck. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, like I just was to the other Johns, but whatever you were doing doesn't matter anymore. Nothing that's happening here matters at all. This session, this whole takeover by the Condis, this isn't how a universe gets made. It's not? No. Well, I mean, it is. But it already happened. We already made it. And we've been living in it for years, from my perspective. Does that mean John can just appear in fanfics? It would be fucking hilarious if someone were to play with that concept. Oh yeah? How is it? Pretty cool. I mean, a little boring at times. But hey, that's life. Yeah, that's how I thought it would be. So, what now? If it's all a done deal, like, preemptively speaking, can we all just relax or what? Actually, no. Fuck. I just realized why she sent me to this point in time to start recruiting you all. What? Who? Rose. Why'd she do that? And what do you mean recruit? What the hell is going on? This is the moment just after you made your legendary cue ball sword. You're going to need it. For what? To come fight Lord English with me. Dave's eyebrows descend beneath his sunglasses. You feel pretty bad because you're about to completely circumvent the life-changing epiphany he's just had that you know for a fact will make him a happier, chiller, altogether more well-balanced human being. Oh shit. What? John, he is not going to fight Lord English just yet. He is staying right here. Old lady's orders. Actually, yes he is. And so are you. We all are. OMG, how dare you? Jade, you're brainwashed. Sorry, but nothing you're saying now means anything. It's fine, though. You'll stop being brainwashed once I zap you outside the influence of the Condis. You're not zapping me anywhere! Haha, yes I am. Watch this. Snaps for that. He's just like, nope, it's happening. Gonna get you out of the brainwashing zone. Goodbye. Zap Grimbark Jade out of there. You set a hand on Jade's shoulder and zap her off to a better place. Then you touch down on the concrete surface where the whole pointless confrontation was taking place so that you can talk Dave around whatever it is he's going through right now. Dave, like his ecto-sister, really needs to get in an absurd amount of extraneous words before he can fully process a situation. The mayor! See, the mayor? The mayor is literally a character that is in the epilogue and should have been included in the tags. He was not just mentioned in passing in the earlier chapter when they were mourning his loss, R.I.P. He's literally physically here in the comic. So, where's his tag, Hussy and Jen and V? The mayor tips his head at you and fiddles with his sash. God damn, you missed the mayor. Wait, what were you counterpointing? I lost track of what I said that you would be counterpointing with yes I am. So what do we do next? Well, I'll leave the others... Well, I'll leave the other you... I'll let... Ugh. This is fine. Okay. Well, I'll leave you to hang out with Jade for a bit while I go round up the others. What others? Like, everyone? Yes. Rose. Yes. Rose, and the other 4. I see. So... Sorry if I seem a little slow here. I'm just trying to figure this out. You're telling me that I made this sword because I'm destined to defeat Lord English, and we've all been training for that day our whole lives to some extent, more or less, and we are actually successful here, like we overthrow the Condus and make a universe and everything, and then we sit on our asses for several years in the new universe and become adults and lead mostly boring lives instead of going off to fight him? Yes. Guess that makes sense. Now that I think about it, that's probably what I'd want to do by the time we finally wrap up this whole mess. Yep, it is pretty much what you wanted. Yep, it is pretty much what you wanted to do. And pretty much everyone else agreed, including me. So that's what we did. Which, I guess begs the question. If it seemed pointless at the time and nobody could be asked to go fight him when we all had our shit together, why does it suddenly become important to go back and beat him years later after we become a bunch of lazy adults with boring lives? I pretty much have the same questions, Dave. There are probably some pretty good answers to that. Definitely some complicated answers. But to be honest, I kind of forget what they actually were. God damn it, John. Basically, the explanation would be all of Rose's canonicity shit, which, like, John didn't understand, and a lot of other folks did not fucking get. Oh, John sapping Jade. Yeah. Absolutely. He's just like, counterpoint. I'm going to do it anyway. It has something to do with canon unraveling and such. We all live outside canon in the future, and if we don't go do this, that's a typo. And if we don't go do this, everything will stop meaning anything. Does anything you just said actually mean anything in the first place? That's a great question, Dave. One that I can't say I'm qualified to answer. I think the bottom line here is, this is what Rose said we had to do. So that's why we're doing it. Sounds like a bullshit reason if I ever heard one. You might be right, but it is less of a bullshit reason than any other reason we But is it less of a bullshit reason than any other reason we currently have to go fight him? Damn, you're right. I don't know how you did it, but you somehow instantly sold me completely. Fuck you, adult Egbert. Heh, still got it. You zap Dave off where he needs to go. The mayor is still staring at you, blinking his buggy little eyes. You shoot him a warm smile and a thumbs up before bouncing off into the ether of infinity. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I noticed that too. There's a chapter where Dave's text is miscolored. Here's what I'm thinking. This chapter is probably going to be much longer than, like, we're going to go way past 1. Normally that wouldn't be an issue, but my throat is actually kind of sore right now. And also, if I leave this for tomorrow, then maybe we can actually talk about it in the context of the rest of the meat epilogue. Or the rest of the epilogue as a whole. If I read enough of it fast enough. So I'm gonna say this is probably the earliest we've ever cut, but I'm gonna say this is time up for today. I did predict we'd only have time for the first 4 chapters, and that's, I mean, we might have been able to squeeze this one in, but I just don't want to push it too hard with my throat being unkind to me. I don't want to do any damage. Yeah, voice crack. Yeah, no, I need to stop. But yeah, so that's going to be all for today. We'll come back to chapter 5 tomorrow. I can't find my pencil. My desk is like covered in makeup right now because I didn't put any of it away after I did my makeup for my family thing today. There's my pencil. Just gonna write down the number 5. Okay. Yeah, so that is the evening. Hopefully I'll have read enough tomorrow that we can like really dig into the full context of what's happening here rather than going on through almost in a first read-esque way. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out. Hope y'all have had a lovely time. Hopefully, and I'm also hoping that y'all will be back tomorrow evening when we can hopefully have a more full-bodied conversation about the context of all these plot points. All right. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever you may be getting up to. That's a good night from my end, and Cherubim will play us out.